Okay, this is how to tank Uldaman on a leveling protection warrior. I was Alliance, and I've never actually ran this place as on the Alliance, and normally this is a boss fight, but if you're Horde, you're gonna have to fight these three guys. If you're Alliance, you have to come over here anyway because you need to get into this chest that's on the table, and I suggest that if you're tanking, you definitely want to pick this up. Because most people won't understand what to do with it. So here's the first boss for the Alliance. I guess he would be the second for a Horde group coming in here. I thought I could pull him without his ads, but as you can see, he aggroes anyway. Really, there's nothing much to him. You can interrupt his cast, you can stun him. He's really just a normal mob with more HP. He does actually drop the second half of that staff. The first staff the first part of it we picked up over there by the Vikings. So if you're the one who picks up the first half of the staff, you need to roll need on this side of it. Or if you don't, make sure that the person who does rolls need on it, or you'll miss out on a boss if you don't take that. So this guy, as you can see, he's just a normal mob right here. I'm actually gonna stun him, and you can stun him. You can, I don't know if you can fear him or any of that stuff, but I know he's stunnable. Just interrupt his cast and he goes down pretty easily. And that's the staff that you want to need on right there. Now you're gonna have both of those pieces in your bag. You want to combine them, and then walk up to this little pedestal and put that staff into the pedestal to summon the second boss here. This boss, it's a giant statue. Does a knockback, and after it does the knockback, you're gonna be stunned, and it's just gonna go crazy all over everyone else in the run. There's nothing you can really do about it. Just as soon as you come out of the stun, you want to charge or taunt to get back aggro. But other than that, she's really not that big of a deal. She does have a weapon, so you can disarm her. Sometimes you wouldn't think that you could disarm one of these big statues like that, but you can actually disarm her, and that drops a lot of her damage. Other than that, it's just a straight tank and spank. Right there's the knockback, and then it stuns whoever has aggro. So the only way really I can see to get her back is just to taunt her back on me, and then just continue to DPS. Not really much to that fight, but at least they did add some interesting fight mechanic. It makes it more than just a tank and spank. I think all the bosses in here are a little bit more than just a tank and spank, so this place was an interesting run. Right here, this is the Ancient Stonekeeper. You don't have to do him third, you can do him, he can be fourth. I decided to just go down the path that makes him third boss. Basically, what he's gonna do is he's gonna summon that tornado that you see right there. You don't want that thing to get on you. It does a damage over time. But it goes after random party members. So right here it's coming after me or a member of the melee. You just basically want to move around and kite that tornado around so that it's not hitting you. Right there, and it'll randomly switch targets. But this is just a tank and spank where you need to move them away. So you gotta constantly be looking around trying to keep track of where that tornado is at. And right here it's on me, so I just start backing away around this pillar. It's not a big deal if you do get hit by the hurricane, but any things that you can do to help out the healer is to just keep yourself and the melee DPS out of the tornado. But that's all there is on this boss. It's a pretty interesting boss, something new and different that we haven't seen before in any of these runs. This is the Sentinel boss. Basically what he's going to do is every time you get his HP down to a certain percentage, he's going to split into more than one copy of himself, and he keeps getting smaller every time. He also summons little ads that you're gonna want to just pick up and tank just by thunderclamping. Basically, just keep DPSing the one that he split to, and it's a pretty easy boss. Right here, we actually aggro the boss. I throw a skull up on the boss because we have more than a pull. This guy's really more like a mage than anything else, I guess. He does a lot of fire damage. There's nothing you can really do about that. You can interrupt his cast and you can stun him, but it's not a big deal to try to take this guy down. But you do have a quest to come kill this guy. Other than that, I would say probably skip him, but with the quest, it's definitely worth the XP and the extra piece of loot to come up here. This entire run, I think there's 8 bosses in here if you're Horde, and 7 if you're Alliance. So, there's a lot of loot to be had in here. It takes about 30 minutes to run. So it's longer than most runs that we've been doing, but it's just packed with bosses. So it's definitely worth coming to do. That's all there is for this boss. This next boss that's coming up, he's the same as the last boss. He's not really any reason to come do him unless you have the quest. I guess if you really want some loot, you can come up here. He's not too far out of the way if you go to that last boss. Anyway, he's right around the corner from the little dwarf mage. But really, there's nothing to him. You just tank him with his ads. It's just a tank and spank. You just have to AoE tank like you would any other pack of mobs, and then you can just take him down. He drops some loot. He's a caster. You can interrupt his cast. You can stun him. It's not a big deal. And that's basically all there is for that run. Or for that boss, I mean. Not the whole run. Okay. This next thing that I'm going to show you, it's an event that you're going to have to do to open the door toward the final boss. You see these 4 statues around the outside. Once you click on that, these 4 statues are going to come out. There is a better way to do this than how we were doing it. The best way is to have where that paladin is standing right there. You want to have the entire group just stand on that so that all the mobs come to one area instead of just aggroing whoever's closest to them. As soon as you kill one, the next one is going to spawn. It's not a big deal to tank all of these guys one after the other, especially if your group stays on top of you. Then you should be able to take them down fine. Pick them up as they come. Right here, as you can see, that paladin was the closest mob, and he was low on HP. He got hit before I could pick up the mob, and he got one shot because of how low his HP was. That's the reason you want to have everyone stand on that pillar, just so it's easier to pick up the mobs. But that's not a real hard event. This last boss kind of takes a little bit from that last event, and what you're going to want to do here is, once you start to summon this guy, it's pretty much just a straight tank and spank. But then he's going to cast these purple beams out to one of the statues around the room. And it can be more than one. But basically, anything that's hit by his purple beam is going to turn into a mob that's going to come and attack the group. You need to pick those up. The ones on the outside of the room, they're non-elites. So really anyone can DPS them down. But right here, as you can tell, he summons quite a few. So the best thing you can do is, again, you probably want to stack your group up so that everything comes in one area. Right there, I was able to pick everything up just by running into one spot and thunderclapping. And now, once you get him really low, he's going to call out the big statues on the side. These guys are elites who come in. You just pick them up, but don't worry about trying to DPS them down, because as you can see, his HP is low enough you can just kill them and he dies